Greetings, my name is Christopher McClung, and this is my introduction for our leadership class 350 at California Baptist University. I'm just going to kind of go down the list and introduce myself and discuss the things that our instructor has asked us to go over. To start out, I am a communication major. This is my third year at CBU. I did take a year off, my first year of teaching. As you can see, I'm a high school teacher. And I took a year off, and then hopefully, I'm looking to graduate December of this year, and I'm very excited about it. Desired position, career. Right now, I work as a high school teacher. I have the awesome job of teaching video game design and animation, and it has been really cool. We're one of the first high schools to ever offer video game design, and that is because there's awesome opportunities out there and jobs for students who are interested in doing this as a career. And however, I would say my desired position would be to be somebody who does marketing and promotions for some place like Disney or Sony or something like that. Ultimately, I would love to be like at Disneyland, coming up with ways to promote stuff in the park so that I'm in the park all the time, and that would be really cool. So maybe when my kids are older. Also, a little about myself. So, like I said, I work as a high school teacher. I also work part-time as the worship leader at my church. I go to Sunrise Church, which the main campus is in Rialto. However, we have a satellite campus in Beaumont, and I lead worship for that campus out there. In addition to that, I also go to school full-time at CBU, so I'm taking 2 classes now. And I'm also finishing my teaching credentials, so I'm in 3 classes right now. And as if, excuse me, if that wasn't enough, my wife and I are blessed and honored to have 8 kids. So we're a blended family, and when we got married, she had 4, I had 1, and together we've since then had 3, and we love them. We love the life that the Lord's given us, and it's been a joy to be a part of. We do have twins in there as well, so it's been a lot of fun. So my leadership style, I would say, I think it was Maslow's X and Y leadership styles. Don't quote me on that. But there's 2 different types of leaders. One of them is very, I guess, strict. Wants the people they're leading to follow a very specific path. And then there are leaders who are a little more broad, a little more open to the people they're working with. And I would definitely say I'm probably a little bit of both. Leading high school students, I do have to be very specific. I do have to be very more strict in, how I go about leading them and teaching them. And that's because the nature of who they are, they want to know every little detail and what specifically they're supposed to do for their grade. So I do have to, like I said, be a little more straight and narrow with them. That is just kind of what they need from me, so that's the kind of leader I am for them. However, for my worship team, I'm probably a little more open, a little more broad in my leading style. When we do rehearsals, I'm always open for my musicians, having more freedom in what they're playing, seeing what ideas they may have that they can bring to songs that we do. And even a lot of the songs that we use, I kind of get their input and their feedback as to, what songs they like. And they always tell me about stuff that, does really touch their hearts. And we look at those and look at doing those at our church. Even like bringing on worship team members, I do have to audition people to do it. And I don't ever just do it by myself. I have a team of people that I have do the auditions with, and we all collaborate, and in each individual person we have. So again, I'm kind of a little bit of both. Why am I taking this class? Obviously, it's a required class for my major. My major is communication. I don't know if I said that yet. And I look forward to it. I've taken a lot of great classes here at CBU. This is one that's a little bit different than your typical communication courses, and I really look forward to seeing what I can learn further about leadership for my own personal needs. I would like to become a better leader. I definitely want to be a valuable leader, and obviously a leader with integrity, and as we study those things. Communicate well. I feel like for the most part I communicate well. My wife may say differently sometimes, but public speaking I can do. I'm okay with it. I do okay with it. I'm far better, I'm discovering, at writing. I have friends who've asked me to like edit stuff for them, and I even had a friend who is getting published, and he was asking me about editing stuff for him, which I didn't have the time, but I've really discovered that about myself within the last 2 years. In taking so many courses here at CBU, I've discovered that I do really well at writing, and so that seems to be a gift that the Lord's given me, and I'm learning to use it more and more. Communication issues that I see at work, probably the biggest thing would be this thing right here. My kids, here at school, they love their phones. They're attached to their phones. I always tell them, you're going to end up like the people on Wall-E who are stuck in their chairs all day. But I've noticed they have a hard time communicating with each other, and it seems to be that they're just so used to texting and playing games, and sometimes even out at lunch, I'll recognize that there'll be a group of kids. All of them are on their phone. None of them are talking to each other. They're all, doing their own separate thing. It's funny. They'll talk to each other digitally through text and Twitter and all that, even though the person they're communicating with online is sitting right next to them. So it's a really weird dynamic. And same thing, my wife and I have noticed that, when we make assumptions about each other, we seem to get into little mishaps, but when we're more open with our communication, when we discuss our intentions, that seems to do well for our family. And we always have to do that because we have such a large family that we do have. So overall, I hope to learn from this course. In concluding this, to be a better leader, I always want to do, the Lord has put me in certain leadership positions, and I've just always wanted due diligence with what He's given me. My students that I teach, I want them to know that I'm a teacher who cares, a teacher who's a good leader for them, somebody that they can look up to. And the same, with when I lead worship, I always want it to be glorifying to the Lord. We often pray as a worship team that we would disappear on that stage, and that God would resound in our place. But in doing that, I want to always make sure I'm a good leader for that team, So obviously I want to learn those things in this course, and I look forward to it. I know many of you, we've learned a lot of stuff together. Some of you have taken class with before, and hopefully we'll continue to go down this path, and hope you guys have an awesome, blessed time in this course. Thanks.